You look at that team, like, it was just so loaded. Josh Hosang, Jordan Maleta, yourself, Anthony DeFruscia, Vince Dunn, Graham Knott, a young Ben Jones on that team. Alex Nedeljkovic obviously was a big part of that team, and so many others. When you look at that run there where you unfortunately lost to the London Knights, it was a pretty stacked team they had with Marner and Tkachuk and those guys, and we won't mention anything else about the London Knights on this show. But as far as your guys' team, like, I know Nedeljkovic was, really like the backbone of the team, but as far as that whole collective group, what made you guys so special that season?
Yeah, you know what? I think we actually underperformed during the regular season. And even like that year, I remember being really frustrated that year because I think it was just like I wanted to be in pro so bad. And I just remember not enjoying it as much during the regular season. Like we weren't doing like as well as we should have. We should have been a top team. I mean, at least finishing first, second, third. I think we finished sixth or something like that. 5 or 6. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember like we didn't really do too well. And then something just clicked in the playoffs. And I think Marty was like, it did well in the playoffs to an extent. But then when we got steamrolled by London in the finals, it was almost, I felt like it was a bit of how our setup, like we did really well kind of rolling everyone. You mentioned we had a lot of guys, myself, Sanger, Nodder, all them kind of guys like that. So we had it somewhat split of like, the ice time of like the year prior, me and Verhaeghe were like, we would log a ton of minutes in ice. And then it was actually tougher because your ice time would come down and then you knew that, when you go from 20 minutes a game to maybe 15 a game, it's a lot. You're missing a lot. Maybe we weren't starting some power plays. They were throwing the other power play out. And so that actually like helped us as a team wise. Like, we kind of got on this roll in the playoffs. But then when we got to London, like they just played it totally different. Marner, Devo, and I think it was Tkachuk, they played about 40 minutes a game. And I think we should have totally went back to that. Like we were trying to match up fourth line against them and stuff. Like it just totally didn't work at all. And I actually always, I thought about that for a while after, I'm not going to lie, like it stayed with me where I'm like, I wonder, if we played that any different. Cause I really thought we could have beat them. And it's weird. You sort of look at their team and you look at ours and like, at the time, I think we had actually a lot better team. They just kind of had, them 3 guys and whatnot. And that was kind of it, really. And yeah, like I said, they just played the piss out of them 40 minutes a game or something. And they were just, that's what junior hockey kind of is. Eventually you find a breakaway or you find something and, so, but yeah, it was a very cool run to the finals and grateful for them time, man. Just playing in the playoffs around there and the buzz around the city and stuff is really, really cool. And one of these days, man, they're gonna, they'll make it and they'll go all the way and they'll win the Memorial Cup for sure. Like I don't doubt it. It's just as far as a player going there, let me just say this too, like, something, I'm not really going to go into the story, which like Barrie had a pick before Niagara. I think Niagara was later in my draft. So I didn't obviously end up picking to choose to go there, but I will say, like, for anyone who gets the opportunity of like they're turning down college and they're going to choose to go to Niagara, man, what a good spot to just live, to play, the setup of the arena, the people, like it's just such a great town. Whereas Barrie, to me, like I chose it and stuff, but it felt like it was just a town off the highway. It didn't feel like it had the same like buzz as a Niagara region for sure. Put it this way, if I had my choice to live in Canada right now, that would be up there for sure. Totally.
Wow, you need to be a spokesperson here for the mayors here locally, but
get me as the mayor
for sure. I think you'd give them a run for their money, but definitely Niagara is a special place, and I'm glad that you were able to kind of recognize that during your hockey career. And yeah, you did take the London Knights to overtime in the one game, and they steamrolled everybody else in the Memorial Cup. So I think you guys gave them their best challenge that year. So I guess I'd
like to think too. I was suspended for the first 2 games, so I'd like to think that maybe I would have made at least a little bit of an impact if I played the first 2 games. And it's tough, man. If you go down 2-0 like that, boom, that third one is so crucial. And you go down 3, and I don't know if I came back in the third game or I'm not sure. I forget what I got. I got suspended in the series prior, the clincher, I think. And then I don't know if it was a 2-game suspension or 3. Only suspension I ever taken in my life. It just so happened to be going into the finals. Yeah.